Welcome back to Close Up. Whenever we have a statewide problem, it tends to show up biggest and baddest in the Queen City. And right now, Manchester is one of the epicenters of the pandemic here in New Hampshire. Joining us this morning to talk about the city's response is Manchester Mayor Joyce Craig. Thank you for joining us, Mayor Craig.
Sure, Adam. It's a pleasure to be here.
So this became very personal for you when your daughter came home from overseas and ended up testing positive for COVID-19. Tell us how she's doing now and what that experience was like for your family.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I'm one of many who have been affected by this virus. And my daughter, I'm happy to say, is doing very well. She's recovered. Our family is healthy, back to our normal lives. But it certainly is hitting home with so many people with illness, with death, with loss of job, close of business. So it's, it's something that's affecting our community and so many others. And I really, at every opportunity I get, I encourage folks to stay home whenever they can, because that's really how we're going to keep our communities the safest right now.
And being able to experience this pandemic as the mother of a patient and not just the mayor of the state's largest city, what perspective did that give you in terms of navigating the system?
Well, it was, my daughter really showed very few symptoms, and it really brought home how scary this virus is, and that there are people out and about who are showing no symptoms that could potentially be infecting others. And so again, it's making sure that we're keeping distance, wearing masks, staying home when we can, to just keep yourself safe, your family safe, and individuals around you.
One of the biggest areas of concern right now, not just in the city, but statewide, are the long-term care facilities. Of course, Hanover Hill in Manchester has been a hot spot for the state with an unfortunate number of fatalities there. How much testing is the city able to conduct right now in the congregate living facilities, these settings that you have here in the Queen City?
We are testing all of the congregate living facilities, so long-term care facilities, as well as our shelter, which, as you know, is the largest shelter in the state. Yesterday, we tested all of the employees at the shelter. Today, we are testing about 150 individuals who have been at the shelter. So we are getting that done. It's very important right now with individuals who are living in close contact that we understand where they are with this virus.
In terms of the homeless, this is a population that's not always the easiest to work with. What's the approach from your office in trying to protect public health and gain access to this population? Like I said, this isn't always a cooperative process with the homeless.
Absolutely. And so Fit New Horizons technically can house about 138 people there a night. Our EOC has been working closely with them to ensure, as best we can, the safety of individuals who are there. They've implemented rules. They're no longer taking any new individuals into the shelter. They've provided masks to people who are staying there. We're providing testing. But they have been working extremely hard, again, the individuals at Fit New Horizons, as well as our EOC, because we know that individuals there have been staying in too close of contact, too close together. So they've been able to identify a couple other locations in this city and are in the process of moving individuals out of the shelter into these other locations so that they are appropriately spaced in order to keep them as safe, as healthy as possible. It has been a little bit frustrating because we've pretty much had to do everything at the local level. And as I said, we've been able to do everything we can, but we've been hearing an awful lot from the state level that they've got facilities set up to accommodate the homeless who have tested positive or who are awaiting test results so they can be quarantined. But to date, we have not in Manchester been able to send anyone anywhere because those facilities are not set up.
Yeah, explain, what is the state telling you in terms of there's the facility in Laconia that they say they could have up and running? What is the explanation as for why this population can't be moved out of the Queen City right now?
Apparently it's not ready. So we've been working for months on this and it is not ready yet. We're hoping that it's ready by Monday, but we've heard time and again that it will be ready, but then there's a delay. I personally don't know why. We've heard an awful lot about these robust programs, but they do not exist yet.
How about PPE? What's the status there for the city? This has been something that's kind of, been up and down, but now that big shipment came in, that Dean Kamen was able to help secure. What's your status on personal protective equipment?
Right now, we're in good shape. We are getting a large shipment today, and I again want to thank Dean Kamen for everything that he did. He saw a desperate need in our state, organized everything in China, chartered a flight, and it arrived last Sunday. And we are extremely grateful for him for doing that. We've also had a number of companies locally providing PPE and cleaning supplies to the city, and we are making orders on an ongoing basis. Our EOC is keeping track of the needs of long-term care facilities, of the homeless shelter, and other nonprofits in the city, and putting requests in. And again, we're grateful the state is making a large shipment today to the EOC.
In terms of city services, how's the personnel side of this holding up? We know that you guys had a handful of police officers testing positive for COVID-19. You've got your fire department and your health department working around the clock. How's that personnel side holding up?
Yeah, I mean, certainly it's tough, right? This is tough on everyone. It's new. It's something we've never experienced before. Our department heads are doing a great job. Our city employees are doing a great job. We have implemented our continuity of operations plans here in the city, have limited exposure and pretty much eliminated exposure to for our employees and to the public. We are making sure that our DPW, waterworks, and other employees who are out and about have the protective equipment that they need, masks and so forth. They are one to a truck now. So we're enforcing certain guidelines now to make sure our employees are safe as well as our public are safe. But it's stressful and it's taking a toll. But they are doing a great job. We're still able to provide those services that our community relies on. It may be taking a little longer and they have to go through phone or email. But I'm grateful for all of the work that our city employees have been doing to ensure our residents receive the services that they are used to.
The governor just announced that remote learning in schools will continue through the end of this school year. I'm curious for your perspective on September, if schools do reopen at that point. How do you ask a teacher who's, say, in their 50s, maybe a cancer survivor, to get back into the classroom if we're still sort of in an unknown period, maybe even if the viral spread is down and we're over the worst part of the curve? Can you still ask that teacher who's maybe at health risk to get back into the classroom if it means risking their life to do it?
Well, I think it also goes beyond a teacher. You know, everybody needs to be comfortable going into a classroom. Parents need to be comfortable sending their kids in there because once the kids are in there, they go home and they have parents and grandparents who may be compromised from a health perspective as well. So we're going to need to make sure that our schools are cleaned and maintain that cleanliness. We need to ensure that we have tests here in the city because I think that's going to be a big thing to prove that we can open things up again. But it's every level that we need to make sure that people are comfortable heading back into school and heading back into business and going out into places where there are going to be a lot of people.
You mentioned business. What are you hearing from your business owners in the Queen City right now? This has to be a point at which they're really starting to feel it.
Absolutely. You know, I mean, if you drive down Elm Street right now, you'll notice that almost every business downtown is closed. And so we are hearing it from both large and small businesses that they are frustrated with. You know, we heard that there were going to be a lot of funds coming from the federal government and grateful for what came, but now those funds are done. And so there's a frustration there. There's a cash flow issue with our small businesses. One of the things that we did here in the city is we implemented a small business loan fund. So once the stay-at-home order is lifted, our small businesses will be able to apply for these loans up to $25,000 to help them get through the COVID-19 issues that they're encountering. The businesses will have had to have been in good financial standing prior to this crisis, but once they get through the loan process, you know, they'll be eligible for $25,000 to help them with payroll and other things. So we want to make sure that from a city perspective, we're doing everything we can to help our small businesses so they can get back on their feet.
Are you concerned that commercial properties are going to be able to pay their taxes, and are you going to try to collect those when the time comes?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's a concern from every community in New Hampshire and beyond when it comes to taxes. We were just on a call with the Gopher Committee earlier today. We've been in contact with the Municipal Association, but we are working through that. You know, there's so many unknowns right now, and we need to work through them. One of the things that we've implemented here at the city as a result is a hiring freeze. So what that's doing for us between now and the end of the fiscal year through June is saving our city about $1 million. It means that there are going to be some services that are cut over the summer, but we need to be cognizant of our spend and save where we can because of the unknowns and not knowing when we can get back to normal business.
There's been some reporting from the sports world that Governor Sununu is in talks with the commissioner of the NHL to potentially bring the NHL playoffs to the SNHU Arena here in Manchester. What are your thoughts on that? And is that an acceptable risk, even if we are at a better place in a few months in terms of viral spread?
Yeah, again, we need to make sure that this is a safe opportunity for the city. That's first and foremost. The governor has not contacted me. I've been in close contact with the folks over at this new arena. They were not aware of it. But first and foremost, from my perspective, is ensuring that my community is safe. And so, at this point, a large gathering here in the city, I am not comfortable with.
Okay, Manchester Mayor Craig, we appreciate your time and continued recovery. We wish for continued recovery for your family and good health for you. Thank you.
Very much.